comment, like,
share, and subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.
Hi everyone. This is a very special program, and we have some incredible people that will be chiming in and giving you wonderful information. This is going to be about Atire. We call it the slow African killer. And first of all, I'd like to introduce to my immediate right is my wife, Mama Naasira. We'll give you a little background about her, and so you'll see why she is the person to be here to talk about health and nutrition. Mama Naasira and I, we are from the United States, and we've been in the Gambia for about 5 years. We've written 3 books on health and nutrition. One, which is an informative health guide for the melanated people of color, is #1 on Amazon. And the other is the general guide for the public. That's an informative guide to healthy living, and that's #1 in the UK. Now, Mama Naasira is a native of San Francisco. She's graduated from City College, San Francisco, with an Associate Arts degree from the Library Technical Department, and has a BA from the College of California. She's the mother of 3 incredible, healthy sons. Married over 40 years. She's a noted chef, a health advocate with an entrepreneur with over 40 years of experience, and that is in cooking and catering. She's been on a plant-based diet for over 45 years and a vegan for 17. And many consider her, including myself, the best vegan chef in the world. Mama Naasira.
Oh, that was lovely. I didn't expect that. Yes, I'm Mama Naasira. Living in the Gambia this month, 5 years. It's been an honor to have experienced so many things in 5 years, and we can say that we are still pursuing our dreams and making sure we're still remaining healthy and strong and helping people as many as we can. My husband, Dr. Joe Bledsoe, has been very inspirational in allowing us to get out to the world and let people see that this is very important. I've known my husband over 20 years, and I met him in the library, and I think it was 1999, something of that nature. And he's also a musician, and his music was in our library. And we were happy to see him come one day and to bring music. I learned that he's also a graduate from San Jose State University, also law school. He's taught for 30 years, elementary school, junior high school, and just the multiverse teaching music. He's the reason for us completing the 3 books, Spicy Tasty Vegan 1, 2, and 3, where we can have the books, to help people to see what we're about. So here we're in the Gambia, and we have lovely people here, and we're going to go on with the attire.
Sure. Yeah, Brother Kemet, man, you are remarkable. But can you give us, the background, the history of this attire, please?
Actually, the background of the attire, one can say 300 years ago, if you have to check the Gambia and the rest of West Africa, you have to separate it from North Africa. 300 years ago, we were not religious people here. Okay. We were native people.
Native, not religious.
not religious.
Oh, okay.
Native means it's full of aboriginals and people who live in the bush. They believe in their spiritual guardians. You know, they heard about Christianity and Islam, but they were living in their native lifestyle. So their culture was not to drink attire.
Okay.
They were doing so many different things, basically farming, agriculture, you know, surviving from the trees.
Yes.
So when you have the Arabs entering Africa,
Yes.
they have to find agents to work for them, the black agents. They indoctrinated them, they empower them, they give them so much to come and pass their ideologies, just like we see in Christianity, how Portuguese came into Africa and then enslaved and colonized and then, you know, converted a lot of Africans, in the case of Kunta Kinte, beating the Toby out and they injected Toby in it.
Exactly.
So we have adopted foreign education, foreign ideologies, foreign religion and foreign customs and traditions. So
And cultures.
as well. So our culture became meaningless because the education that we acquired from the slave master told us that our culture is bad. When you die, you go to hell. So we believe in that. So the fear is still plucked in our minds. Coming down to the attire is all part of the culture injection.
Yes.
So what happened is most of these masters are worshipped or are being praised to a higher king-like position. So the slave versus the slave master, the Uncle Tom to his boss. So the Uncle Tom or the slave, the black slave, will be there to do most of the service for him.
Yes.
So one of the main service is to serve the master, brew attire, green tea for the master, cook for the master, take care of certain things for the master. So, and as we all know, during that time, most of the blacks were castrated by their Arab masters. The reason why they have been castrated is the Arab master is always insecure or to be fear of the black slave to be in need of a woman before taking, his wife. Just like we heard in the story of Solomon in the Bible, as they say, the king's wife fell in love with Solomon and tried to accuse him. Was it in Solomon or is one prophet in Egypt? In Egypt there was a prophet called Joseph who was imprisoned by the king.
Yes.
Okay.
Joseph was.
He was
Yes.
accused,
Yes.
wrongfully accused.
That's right.
Something similar. That was really happening in the Arabic times a lot when they gained control of the African society. You understand? So the slave serving the master is all is what we see in the form of attire. You understand? So that's why today, in our time in the Gambia, if you go to any Mauritanian shop, just by the turntable here, you will see Mauritanian shops having their, staffs, black staffs working for them. They create employment, I understand, but there's always this guy brewing attire and serving it. So this has been there for a long time.
Okay, well, I'd like to point out that he's talking about Arabs, and we'd like to point out, just from a health point of view, there is a big difference between melanated people and Europeans. Now, the Arabs that we're talking about, a lot of them were people of mixed blood, which meant many of them that were in position to do these things, like have their eunuchs and take on the other women, what they did. Physically, they were a little different. And because we are so different, our biochemistry is different, they're able to eat some things and drink some things that won't have the same effect. I'll give you an example. Europeans, they have more sulfur in their melanated cells, which means with the sulfur, if they get wet, they give off a certain smell. They have more ammonia salt in their sulfur cells, which keeps them warm. That is why the Europeans are able to walk in short pants in the snow, or we have to be subjected to coal offices with Europeans because of the sulfur. So you put that together along with them having more parasites and worms required to metabolize their food. It's the same as taking in some of the things we're going to talk about in the attire, the most important. So it did not necessarily affect these Arabs as it had an effect on the Africans.
Yeah, and I also want to interject it too that it is unfortunate that we have been colonized for a very long time, and to be on a planet where we have everything, it's not easy when we have visitors to come, however form they come, and we helping them. In America, we helped, those people. And because that's what we do. The Palestinians said the reason why we got overtaken, by the Arabs, the Europeans, because as the prophets, the leaders, the gods of our time, they had to take in everybody. And so when you take in a culture or a people or something, then you become a part of it too. And it's generally down the genetics of life where we start to come back. And I'm really happy to know the history that you have given, because that gives me a little bit more of what I've studied and what I have internalized just by living.
And how things intertwine and how things connect. In Africa, literally, we welcome all kind of people on this continent. I'm talking about the Africa 100,000 years ago, the Africa 50,000 years ago, the Africa that predates the Africa that we see today, the Africa that predates our grandparents. You understand? So, because like Malcolm X would put it, my grandfather was indoctrinated to believe what he believed. He passed that knowledge to my father, and passed that knowledge, and my father passed that knowledge onto me. So I can't blame them for where I am, but it's my responsibility to go back and unlearn and relearn. Because in the age of information, ignorance is no excuse.
No, it's not.
So we get back to what's in this attire, what are the things that are good about it, and what makes it a problem.
That's said in Mandinka.
Yes,
either way. Both. Yes.
Badi mal algamol jibe kanjam mama Naasira and Dr. Blejo ila konrakono vegan long ika ibuko subu domo ibuko nyedomo ika yiri dengol la domo ika wala fana tabi ko se nyine je ko nyaaje na foloto mol barakata e sembo soto an ling ye jata kende ya fana soto ibalo fanke fanga jara ika domo fengo min domo bi ataya la ko nata ka wala discourse katu ye nyine korosi sanji lulu be Gambia jang ya jele ko ataya mo kulati ni ala ko Gambia non ka amim bakel so kabrito ya nene inata ya jeko amanke kuti mi yalo ko ataya bo kuti mi yalo amanke kuti mi yalo ko amambete ya bari mol ka min nyami mol nyanda fana ka nyin karam dal ko sukuro men ka dum ataya ko ani ani ka min nyami aka mune sabu ila bala jata kuran kono comme ngalo nyami diabetic de mol ben alfal kasara kan mo jamalo bi fon ninke jamalo je mi yaron ko I jato man tan ken yare diabetic be badat ke fende fo atay ite mi ra lunkeling ye sukur poti nani o sukur poti tan o sukur poti nul ya bang ka adomo tu ka min tu atayal wi ko kono wo mu jelleti karo kono wo mu jelleti sama kono wo mu jelleti fo ite ballo abe wol be bondino la nama bondino oda aka kurawole wulu ibalo ko so nata ka wo kole kacha ka monso hakilo isaje because kacha ne ka kuja ma nati nan mon hakilo salon fanga fangi ba min nay ba do mo la nyaadi you see so abole nyama domoro is good by domor nya akumaya tabake ni aje fondinke buka nasi maya ni futata Gambia no la lifespan 60 70 ikafale 50 mune wo sabu no domor fe mol fongi korase ku jama bije nte avoid nola bari fonga traki tala ko nga jibe be ko min lat nan ñam abmol ma ko la am gonna say it in wala mbokay ci katal li mo don wax ci kalame angale ak kalame sosé moy Gambia nek na deka bo xamanteni nan kati ataaya bari nañ li ñuy naanee ataaya dafa bari torop léegi ñii sumay